Yeah, right.
So as soon as you hear the bugs fade up, you're like, oh, here they come. Here comes the mics. That is if you go live, that is. If you restream it, you don't get to hear it because I just edit it. I just like, boom, this is where it starts. And you don't get to hear this lovely fade in of cicadas and crickets and...
occasional crow and a cockatoo.
Yeah.
Little minor bird here or there.
Yeah.
Maybe even a parrot. I saw one before.
You would have seen parrot, corellas, lorikeets.
Yeah.
This morning I saw some sort of really strange, some sort of fowl.
Yeah,
It was like black, and it was had like something similar to what you're wearing actually.
Okay.
It was like a weird orange and with black dots on the feathers and tail. So the body of it was black.
Sure.
And it looked kind of like a crow, but it had like wings and a tail that looked like leopard print.
Right.
And it made like a weird like white noise kind of call. I was like,
yeah, right. I find it so bizarre when you hear and see a bird that you've never heard before, and you're like, but I'm in like the same geographical sort of location. Like I've always been around Brisbane, and I'm like, how the fuck is this one bird gone without me seeing him before? The first time that happened, I thought it was a conspiracy of birds against me. I was working as a plumber, and I don't know, I was kind of like, birds have always freaked me out because they're reptilian. They're like that. It's like that weird.
they are dinosaurs.
I was saying to you yesterday, like I don't fuck with snakes. I don't fuck with reptiles, and birds are similar in the way that you can't read their intentions. There's no
facial expression.
Exactly. Like a dog will bare its fangs. A cat will hiss or do. A lot of other animals indicate that they don't like you. A bird just stands there with that fucking cocked head and just looks at you through one eye, and you're just like,
there's no eyelids.
Yeah, and that, like, what does that mean? It's like the same thing for everything. So I've always been paranoid that birds are just gonna jump me. And I guess multiple periods of being swooped as a child kind of, ingrained that fear.
Magpies and crows do hold grudges. They have memories of about 5 years long, apparently. Shout out to Chris Cobcroft who told me that. I wrote a review of Monty Chandler's latest EP recently.
Oh, yeah.
And
that's right. The artwork's like swooping.
Yeah, and so I just took swoop as and used it as the whole review was just an allegory about getting swooped by magpies.
True.
And so after I'd recorded with Chris Cobcroft of the New Releases show on 4ZZZ Wednesdays 5 till 6. Yes. He told me crows and magpies have a memory of about 5 years long, and it's only about 5% of a population that will actually hold grudges.
Yeah.
And then actively swoop you because of that.
Yeah.
So, there is a chance, but who knows? If you're getting swooped a lot, Dan, maybe you are part of the 5%.
It wasn't a lot, but this one experience, right? I was working as a plumber at the time. This was in my younger years. I was like 18, 17 or something. And I was around I used to work in new construction, so when a new estate's being built. So like this place we were at, it had just been carved straight out of the bush. So right basically where the fence would be on the side of this house where I was installing a house tap was just straight, like unbridled bush. And there was one little weird brown bird sitting on the ground, right? And I looked at it and I was like, he was just staring at me. And I was like, you're freaking me out. And I'm just putting this tap on, like, doing my job. But it just kept staring at me and it freaked me out. So at the time, I wasn't as much of a respectful APEman as I am now. So I threw a rock at it, not trying to hit it, but just something near it to scare it and make it bugger off. And all it did was skip to the side without breaking eye contact with me. It was the creepiest thing. And I threw another one and it did the same thing.
He was shaping up to you.
And it was just staring at me and I was like...
You're on his land.
Yeah, exactly. And so I went back inside and did something else, came back out later, like, gave it a couple minutes. it was on the fence now, and then I saw it had a friend next to it, and every time at least that I looked at them, they were staring right at me.
Right at you.
And then I'm looking around, and there's another one behind there on the branch, and there's another one over there, and another one over there, and this is the first time I've ever seen this type of bird. I can't recognize what species it is.
What it look like?
All of a sudden, kind of like a minor bird, but like crossed with a butcher bird or something, and it was just brown. That's the thing. I've never seen it since either.
Yeah, right.
So
interesting.
It was all these birds were looking at me, staring at me, and made me feel really scared.
Yeah,
and
right.
then a cockatoo called from the top of the forest, and they all turned and flew immediately out, and there was 30 of the flock that flew out of those bushes was 30. So there was, I saw
watching
5
you,
or maybe 7. They were all sitting there watching me, but then it was another bird that distracted them. My theory is that they were representatives of the spirit of that forest, and they weren't appreciative of me trying to come in and fuck with them.
They were definitely keeping an eye on you, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Where are you going?
Well,
who are you?
Yeah, exactly.
You understand who owns this?
Throw rocks.
See that?
at
You know
us.
that crow in the top of the mountain?
Exactly.
You know, this is his land.
Yeah.
And we don't know if we appreciate you being here.
No.
Throwing stuff.
Exactly.
What the yeah.
So I've been a bit weird on birds since then.
That's okay. You're allowed to be weird here on the Brownsnake. I don't know if I've introduced it just yet, but this is Babblin on the Brownsnake, or Brownsnake Babblin. You can switch it up if you like, Dan.
Yeah, well.
You already have already. Shout out to the Crow King. Appreciate that you didn't kill Dan, otherwise Dan wouldn't be here today.
Shout outs.
He could have just
taken my eyes out.
Yeah, right. He could have grabbed you by the shoulders and taken you off to who knows, Charleville or something.
I like this Crow King idea.
Yeah.
He's a giant.
King Crow, man.
If he was going to grab me by the shoulders and take me away, he's a big ass crow.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's switch this up. We are on the Brownsnake. If you're live streaming, then we'll give you a chance to look at the river during this song. If you're listening back on digital, then you're just going to have to listen and hear this song anyway. This is, I'm not going to explain it. It just gets a bit in-jokey, maybe. You know?
APEman. Shout out Zed Lewis for the beat. This is raw brainwaves coming at you like when you wanna sleep. That place where reality and dream seem to meet. You know, the deep. Landers Odyssey, laying out a prophecy. Allow myself for Socrates, wondering just what are these divine inspired offerings? 11 years old, how could I know that I was starting a lifelong addiction and there's no cure and no prescription? That's when I started receiving these visions. I was like, whoa, mine was like blown. I was determined to show side of myself that helped my health when I was lost in the dark. I learned to use it like my stealth, deeper in what I delve, and I couldn't let go, I could never let go. All of a sudden I was 12 and the years kept rolling, and I'm double that now, but it's still not showing. I'm still not sure exactly where I'm going, let me go. And can I just flow now, please? Corner search for no one, still gotta show love to the shogun. So many years I've watched this show, and now I'm gonna give back all I know. Corner search for no one, still gotta show love to the shogun. So many years I've watched this show, and now I'm gonna give back all I know. All I know. Life's taking on new meaning. Where will I lay my head this evening? I'm changing faster than the seasons, not confronting all of my demons. Need some reasons to keep on breathing. I'm on my knees, my lungs are wheezing. Sin's relieving these feels I'm feeding. What do I know, and how can I grow? How can I move forward into a new chapter? Praying I can be more than a rapper, but am I really more than just an actor? No, I don't think so. And I'm struggling to hold it together. Mood dark and stormy, just like the weather. Skin dry and stretched out like I was leather. Let me let go, and can I let go now, please? Corona search for no one, still gotta show love to the shogun. So many years I've watched this show, and now I'm gonna give back all I know. Corona search for no one, still gotta show love to the shogun. So many years I've watched this show, and now I'm gonna give back all I know. 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 Sands through the hourglass. Keep watching as the hours pass. Hey.
There you have it. It's a decent track. It's alright. I mean, some people like it. I think I could do better. Have done better since then.
Yeah, right.
It's a little
Have
bit
done,
odd.
could be better. We're talking obliquely about the track.
Yeah.
This level. That's your track, Dan.
Yeah.
That's your track. And it's called Chronos, and it's about time, because as I waffled on across the introduction of this, or what would you call it, the blurb, I guess, for this episode, is about being on the last day of the year, and how everyone goes, oh, you look back across 2017, a whole 12 months out of however long this rock's been spinning. So this morning, just had, for whatever reason, YouTube suggested to me a 20-minute breakdown on the 12 centuries of the Roman Empire.
Right.
And if you don't know, this calendar is actually what we call a Caesarian calendar.
Yeah.
It's because of Julius and his kids Octavius and Augustus that we have this calendar.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's quite serendipitous. You could look at it mystically, I suppose, and say that YouTube, the YouTube recommendation was quite serendipitous. Or they just really know what I really like now that they've been watching what I watch.
Yeah.
And when I watch
they
it,
get
for,
an inside scoop. But
So we are measuring time, and that Chronos is a maybe you have. Well, actually, you're right here. I don't have to interpret. I can just go Chronos.
Well, it's I don't know. It's like about time. It's sort of Chronos spelt wrong, because if it's spelt CHRONOS, it's referring to the Greek Titan of time, who I don't know. The mythology is a bit muddy, but I always knew him to be Zeus's father. So it was like the Titans were like the generation before the gods. They were the gods before the gods, sort of thing. But apparently, like, last time I looked at Wikipedia, that's in question and whatever. I don't give a fuck. I take mythology and history and put my own little spin on it, and just take what I want out of it anyway. So Chronos is just about time, and I don't know, just the passage of it. It was actually kind of inspired by the Riff Raff song I showed you earlier, Time.
Really?
And like he has like.
Does Riff Raff get deep on the?
Yeah. Well, that's like his deepest song ever.
Right.
By a long shot. Like, there's not even any. I don't think there's actually a single reference to a luxury brand in that song, or to a flavor, because that's the Riff Raff formula. Is that you say a certain flavor of food or fruit.
Yep.
With a luxury brand item.
Purple marmalade Versace bag.
Exactly. So. But that's and he talks about, I feel like my time has passed, like I'm an hourglass and the sand is moving fast.
Oh.
Fast, if you're American.
Well, time stops for no one, I suppose. We can dig up one of the great adages, just much like the Brownsnake they were looking down upon here on the live stream.
That's it. It's looking good.
You can go against it
a
if you're a
good
fairy,
view
but
here, Nick.
well, that's it. Like I'm not sure if I say this on air every week, but the whole reason Babble and Brownsnake exists, Dan, is that I sit in that chair where you're sitting.
Yeah.
Most afternoons, and I watch the sunset after work, and I relax, and I think to myself, "Oh wow, this is really quite nice.
Yeah.
I should share this with people." So that's why there's this whole rigmarole every Sunday of me patching together a live stream and then giving it to Zed over Friday night to restream, on digital. Babblin the Brownsnake. And, as you stare out across the Brownsnake there, as it gently pushes towards Wynnum at this point, it's still, the swell is not swell, but the current is gentle today. I think it's taking some time out like everyone else.
Yeah.
Everyone just kind of abandons what they do and, just gives it it's like a time out on momentum at this time of year.
Yeah.
And so I think the Brownsnake's doing the same. Look at it, right? It's just kind of lulling along towards Wynnum.
Yeah.
It's got a long way to lull too.
Why rush?
Why rush?
But this is like just something you brought up before with the calendar and stuff. That's something that's always fascinated me. Once I realized that the calendar hasn't been the same, like it's like it was an invention, and it's changed multiple times throughout history. That fucked me up.
It was originally about the moons and the gods, and then as Julius's kids were born, they inserted themselves into the calendar.
Yeah, right. Well, like even just like, yeah, because if there was like a calendar without a leap year or something, and that's why even the fact that people still celebrate, like for whatever reason, like to say the 25th of December as being Jesus's birthday, it's like it's all lost. Like whatever it was, because 2,000 years ago it wasn't the same calendar. So
yeah, that's right.
How do you even?
It's been shifted so far.
Exactly.
out,
like, how can you even just say that's the thing? And then if it's not the actual, completely accurate, correct date, then what is even the point of celebrating the date?
It's just good to commemorate things.
Yeah, but
you don't want to lose track of our great religious heritage as human beings.
Fair enough, but
some people turn up and I don't know. I'm talking about my ass. I don't really give a fuck, but
But it's like, I don't know, all the anniversary, all the dates and stuff, birthdays have always been a weird thing for me. Because, like, for a while there, once I got to, like, 17, 18 and stuff, I was like, who gives a shit? It's just a day. Like, why? I'm not special on this day any more than I am any other day or anything, so what's the problem?
Well, you're special to your mother, I imagine, on that day.
Well, that's, like,
that's if you have a good relationship with your mother.
I turned around at one point and realized that this day is actually more about my mom than it was about me, because I'm the first born child and everything. This is when her life changed. So I don't care about it, but I realize I have to care.
She spent 24 hours pushing you out, man. That's a big change. Shout out to mothers. The good ones, the bad ones. They're all humans. Sometimes they struggle, sometimes they get a win.
That's it.
Yeah. Time and mothers. I knew this was going to get deeper here on the Brownsnake.
There's no other way to be. I mean, I can be shallow.
Well, no, there's no need to force it. We'll just roll with it. This is the great thing about doing this right here on the river is that there's plenty of analogies you can draw out of the river. So you stand around, you look down upon this thing through the bushes, and you see the birds. You can talk about territory and temperament. Shout out to King Crow. Then you talk about current and flow and time and how it shifts, and there's no good anchor. See, there's no real anchor for time here on the Brownsnake. The Brownsnake will flow, but there's no anchor. Yeah, see, that's the great thing about it.
There is a time that we got to cut off though, right?
Yeah, well, this is also the great thing about Z Digital is that you can totally practice the unorthodox in media.
Yeah.
Shout out to YouTube and Z Digital for giving me a very open platform to just dribble.
Man, digital media in general, just like you can do fucking anything and someone will watch it.
Someone will watch it.
Someone will listen.
Well, shout out to some girl called Megan who commented first on one of the first videos I loaded up onto YouTube. Shout out to Megan.
Yeah, right.
Thanks for commenting first. Someone's will watch it.
It's great. Digital media is just like, I can't, like, watching historical dramas recently, it's so amazing to look at, like, say a medieval society, even in a modern depiction of it, and put yourself in the shoes of people who they couldn't even read or write. They don't even have the option. Like, ever since we've been alive, we had school books and pens and pencils, and we were writing or we were getting read books from the time we were born, pretty much, and kids these days, they have iPads. Kids, like,
and they're
children
better at iPads as
know
well.
the know the different combinations of finger movements to zoom and to flick and everything. Like, someone told me a story the other day of like showing a child a photo frame and they went to swipe on it and look at the next picture. You know, like they don't even know what this primitive technology is. A static image? What
I
is
like
that? But
it's all moving very quickly now on the
Yeah.
Brownsnake, that's for sure.
but see,
Hey, it's actually drizzling now as well. Sorry to cut you off
No,
from
that's
the evolution of children, or no, just adaptation. But the weather's, it's kind of releasing a little bit. It's quite a bit glary on the live stream, so you can't really catch it. But maybe this is a good opportunity to, there goes a ferry. Shout out to ferries, river cats.
City cats.
I like river cats because they go right up until midnight. Buses will stop and
True.
stop and start haphazardly throughout the night, but
Yeah, true.
you can always catch a ferry right up to midnight. Shout out to river cats. Anyway, let's open this up.
Are you saying river cats because you're confusing the fact that they're actually called city cats, or is that just...
Yeah, I'm totally mixing it up, but that's alright.
Because I like river cats, but I'm like, do you not know?
They're called city cats. Well, you
It's
know,
written on the side of it.
is it? Oh, there you go. We're babbling here on the Brownsnake. Let's open this up. What is this? Love You Better. Oh, this one goes out to the mothers. It really does.
Last night I came around from 10 till 4 to hear the same excuse again. We argued barefoot on the kitchen floor. It was such a rush, but enough's enough. Baby, let's slow down. We're not thinking clearly, moving too fast to see. I will love you better than you know. I will love you better. I will love you better. Slow down. We're running on empty. It's getting harder to see that I will love you better than you know. I will love you better. I will love you better. I will love you better than you know. I will love you better than you know. Why does it feel like we've been here before? Like running circles in the dark. Just know I'm ready to walk out your door. It was such a rush, but enough's enough. Baby, let's slow down. We're not thinking clearly, moving too fast to see. I will love you better than you know. I will love you better. I will love you better. Slow down. We're running on empty. It's getting harder to see that I will love you better than you know. I will love you better. I will love you better. I will love you better than you know. 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 Feels like we're doing this wrong. I can't help thinking that we're too far gone. Hey, it feels like we're doing this wrong. I can't help thinking that we're too far gone. I will love you better. Baby, let's slow down. I'm not thinking clearly, moving too fast to see. I will love you better than you know. I will love you better. I will love you better. Slow
This is Fecky with Love You Better. And just while we, move on to something else, I just got to give you a warning that this is Xander Holmes with Something Real, but I don't actually know what it sounds like.
Okay, fair enough.
So we're just going to give this a go here.
That's it. It's time to take chances, take some risks.
Right? I've only got
Experiment.
12 odd hours or something. What time is it? 5:25, possibly 7:25 if you're listening to this via the stream. Or actually, if you stream, I realize this, I've got to stop referencing time, because when you stream, you can stream whenever you damn well want.
True,
so you're not locked into the Sunday afternoon live stream or the Friday, restream on digital. You just access this whenever you damn well want, and I've got to stop putting a marker on time. Bad habits die hard. Hopefully by the time I die, let's rephrase that. If I make it to old age and I become dottery, hopefully by then I've removed the habit of checking in on time.
Yeah, I feel that.
They'll be like, whoever's around me, family, nurses, whoever, who knows. Nick, you're about to die. You made it to 2053. What have you learned this time? I was like, man, I stopped counting after 2032.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I made it this long. And then that'll give me a new second wind, and then I'll live for another 5 odd years just knowing that I'd given up on time.
Oh, yeah, someone turns around on your birthday, you made it to 83, and you're like, what?
Hey, what? I
thought it was 83. Shit.
I'm perennially 21. Anyway, here's let's just see what this sounds like. I don't know what this is. Well, it is Xander Holmes, but I don't know what it sounds like. Maybe I can find a cool loop for us to sort our visuals out in the meantime. Sounds a little emotional or pensive. Well, that's good,
depth to it.
Yeah. Bear with me here.
It kind of suits the way that the trees are just slightly swaying in the breeze right now. It's a bit picturesque.
That's beautiful, Dan. Thank you.
Hope was the dream, and passion the driving force, speeding down the stream. The goals were dead on course, my face to yours, and your face to mine. We look to open the doors and stand the test of time. It felt like something new. It felt like something true. It felt like something real, something with great appeal. It felt like something new. It felt like something true. It felt like something real, something with great appeal. Hope was the fire that burned down the thoughts of doubt. But something was low-key to tell you it won't eat out. Oh, the heart of an optimistic, praying to prosper, but the mind of the realistic, screaming a hold right here. 'Cause it felt like something new. It felt like something true. It felt like something real, something with great appeal. It felt like something new. It felt like something
We're certainly feeling the truth here on this brown snake. We just had a bit of a sprinkle, now the sun's out, and now it's really quite glorious.
Sun showers it's just something else. It's not that often to actually see one.
Yeah, right?
And when it does,
It's nice to
just
be in them as well.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm getting some beautiful reflections up the river here. Everything's getting a little bit magic here in the brown snake. We have Xander just chanting around in the background. Whoa.
It's like you're a real DJ.
Like, yeah, filter sweeps. You can do a filter sweep.
Give me 3 fist pumps and you're a real DJ.
The last episode was nonsense. I was just finding loops everywhere. Like late on what was it, Thursday night, I was finding loops everywhere. And, what else can you just... Shorter?
Through the vortex right now on the Brownsnake.
Yeah, sorry Xander. Just wasn't really feeling it, man.
It's cool.
Like he's pouring out his heart, and he sounds young, so maybe as he grows, with that kind of mentality, he might find something a little more captivating for me.
Yeah, well, I guess there's not really anything risky in it, which is something that I've realized is something that I'm looking for, is when the artists that I really like gravitate towards, it's like they do something risky, or they just, and the risk might literally just be being themselves.
Yeah.
And their personality is enough that uniqueness makes it cool or something, but I don't know, songs like that, I'm like...
You also have like a hunger for new ideas, right?
Yeah, I'm all about progression and evolution and stuff.
Young Xander here.
Old stuff and tried and true methods, but I always appreciate someone taking those tried and true methods and then mashing them up in a fucking haphazard way with something that isn't, tested.
Who forgot that does something like that in Brisbane? But young Xander, he's looking for something new, or something new. He's trying to refine the new idea, but he hasn't pinpointed it. It's still something. It felt something real, felt something true. He's working on it.
Yeah.
Shout out to Xander. If you ever get to some sort of objective truth, let me know, man.
There's no such thing.
We're
Objective.
That's effectively me saying, just leave and come back when you've got like objective truth.
Yeah.
So like never. No, that's rude. We can chew it over together, Xander. We've got as much as an idea as each other.
I can't get behind any sort of objectivity. I don't think, like, there's nothing that I come into this where there's the part of me that's watched a bunch of conspiracy videos and read some far out books that just I can't take dudes like Neil deGrasse Tyson or like Carl Sagan and stuff. I'm like, you're just a poster boy for scientism.
Yeah.
You're just the figurehead for people who go, science said this, as if science is a god.
Yeah, exactly.
The people who talk about science like science was an entity that discovered something. They don't talk about the scientist that wrote a report that was then peer reviewed by scientists and then published by a journalist or anything. It's science said this. Get your fucking head out of your ass. You think you're better than everyone, but really, you're listening to Neil deGrasse as if he is a preacher up at the pulpit, and you're believing every fucking thing he says because you trust him. And until you recognize that, you'll be stuck in the same fucking loop as Christians. Boom.
Boys. Watch out. How about a song called Disease by Joanna Field? Does that sound like it's appropriate?
Yeah, let's hit it. Let's get into some disease territory.
Disease. This could be heavy, or it could be melancholic. Could be both. Could be none.
Whatever it is, it's gonna be a wild ride. currents of the river are taking us where they will right now.
Exactly. So I'm probably going to leave the mics open on this one and we can discuss how much we're not feeling this song. Live over the
Judge
time.
it too harshly, yeah.
Well, you know. It's a whole new year next year, you know, so anything I do now, I can't be held accountable for. I can't.
It's a new year, new me.
Exactly.
That's funny. Do all my fines get erased when it's a
Everything,
new year,
man.
new me?
Everything's just a fresh start. Fresh start.
Shit, I need a new birth certificate. What a pain in the ass IDs are. Like, especially, I just know the birth certificate, it's a piece of paper, and I lost the shit moving. So now I have to fucking spend money. I have to go prove my identity to the people who know me, who have all my information, then pay them to confirm that I am me. And then I have to take that birth certificate to the Department of Motor Vehicles and Roads or whatever. It used to be Department of Transport. I like that because it's so much easier to say. And then I have to pay them to give me a fucking piece of plastic that says I am who I am. And then I can get into venues again. Because I cannot get in anywhere after 10 p.m.
If anyone's missing APEman, you know where he is. He's at home. He's got no. He can't prove himself. Can't prove himself.
So ridiculous.
Well, much
I need
like,
an ID that's just APEman, like not Daniel. Just like, oh, it's all right.
it's
Nah,
yeah,
cool. That's a
yeah.
pass.
In you go. Come on. In you go, man.
Yeah, like a loyalty card. If you've been to enough live gigs, you get into any venue for free. You know, like if you support local music, then you get in.
Oh, well, no, I guess maybe not if it's got an ID scanner.
Exactly. That's
But there's bound to be a point where you can befriend a bouncer.
Yeah,
a regular
yeah.
bouncer. Yeah, man, I'm here every week. It's like, yeah, okay, get it, man. That's cool. I know you're 51.
That's what's weird about the ID scanning. Is my mate's a bouncer, and he said he's turned away people who are clearly in their 60s because they don't have a valid ID.
Rules are rules, man. Rules
And
are
exactly,
rules.
and it's like it's the law. It's the law. I'm like,
Get out of here.
my response is like, okay, but in Nazi Germany, the law was that if you were a Jew, you go to a concentration camp. So is the law inherently good? Because it's written by fallible humans and biased humans.
You ought to be
I like
alright
this. I
if
can talk my shit.
This is Babblin on the Brownsnake. Hang on, let's just give the song a
apologies.
Yeah, Joanna Field, Disease. There's a whole EP apparently called Suspended. Do you like this kind of thing? Kind of like rock music. Do you like rock music?
It's cool. I can vibe.
Not the best loop, but sometimes you
But
gotta
it's
glitch out.
got that little.
Like anticipated glitch. Yeah, no, I feel that.
It's good. No, I think it's better like that because it gives it that little bit of swing that's not super robotic, you know?
Yeah, I feel you.
Because it's still in time.
Because it's anticipated, right?
Yeah.
On the one. Rule number one: good funk lands on the one. Except when you're Joanna Field and there's anticipation. One, four. It's not even funk music.
It's cool. I like it just made me think that because I keep seeing all these right now. 4 Triple Zs are out of Woodford, and I keep seeing their posts about it and photos and whatnot from gigs, and I could totally hear this being played at Woodford or something like that. You know, I could imagine walking past and
Definitely.
Joanna Fields, is it?
Joanna Fields, man.
Yeah, I could hear her at
Woodford.
Yeah.
In like a tent somewhere. Some
Yeah,
sweaty
yeah.
tent.
Like, I think it's like no. I can't remember the stage names. But
They may well change every year as well.
yeah.
Yeah. Don't try.
But that type
Don't
of
try.
vibe. If you could be anywhere, well, I don't know why you'd want to be anywhere but the Brownsnake, but if there was would you rather be at, say, Falls or Woodford, for instance?
Do I have to choose? I don't really like big outside festivals.
Sure, you're not a festival guy?
I like a festival I can hit and quit.
Yeah, okay.
So
right.
I'll do laneway, sure.
Okay, yeah, right.
So-
Okay, you're like a day-long thing.
Yeah, like a day-long thing,
okay.
close to my, amenities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
The whole camp, like I don't mind camping and I don't mind adventures in outdoors places, but I don't
But
want to do it.
together with a festival?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nah,
okay.
no.
Interesting. It is a draining
Essentially,
experience.
it's people. Essentially, it's people.
Yeah. Because even when you're at your tent and stuff, you're not in nature. You're just surrounded by a whole bunch of people.
And there's just people everywhere.
Yeah.
And you'll get collectively messy.
Exactly,
Both figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 days in a row. And it's just gross. So, because, yeah, people.
It is.
I can get dirty and I can listen to music for 3 days in a row, but if I have to do it with everyone else, yeah, hell is other people, man.
Yeah, I can feel that. There's a weird. I went last year to Woodford with Portrait Wizard, and it was a good experience. But I found that, so I was there for I think like a whole week or whatever, and midway through I just had to have a night to myself in my tent, just listening to my own music on my headphones, and just like had a pipe to myself, and just felt like I was alone again, because that's it. It was like, and that recharged me, because not being alone the whole time, it was just, I was like ready to leave, but had a night to my own one night, it re-energized me for 3 more nights or whatever, and it was fine. But it made me realize how draining it is. It's good fun, obviously, and I think, but then I'm like, I don't know, people, veteran festival goers, it's like a different breed of people. They're like, they know how to do it. They know what to do. They know what they want to do when they go there. They have everything sort of sorted, and they've done it enough times that they anticipate. Like,
Yeah.
I tried to conserve myself the first couple times I went to festivals like that.
And I don't know if you can at a festival.
Well,
right?
that's it. I realized, like, because I was taking time to go and sleep. Oh, I'm tired from volunteering or whatever. I'll go eat back at the campsite. By the time I get back to the campsite and eat, I don't want to go back into the festival anymore.
Yeah,
so
right.
I was missing stuff. And then I realized that other people volunteering just take drugs and go out straight after the volunteering thing, because that's how you get everything. And bugger it, you're screwed the next day, but you just keep going. And I realized, okay, that's how you get everything out of it.
That's it. Yeah, you get the most out of it.
Yeah.
We're babbling on the Brownsnake. It's a beautiful sun setting. I'm going to put the camera closer to the river for you. In the meantime, here's one of my favorite songs. Do you know of Plastic Fangs, Dan?
No.
Local garage thing. There's just one song called Kickback. I think I've dropped it in every episode of Babbling Snake so far.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Brownsnake. Brownsnake. What are you looking for, Dan? Power. We're all looking for power. That was part of my blurb, Dan. Was that Oh no, that was wrong. This is a different blurb. You know, I told you I was being really active on social media today. I done 2 posts in one day outside of
super present on the social media.
Yeah. So there was one blurb about the Caesarean calendar, which we've actually talked about. I noticed as soon as I say this is what we're going to talk about with the people in the Brownsnake, babble about, sorry. We never actually addressed that topic, but you know, as just as sure as the river flows towards Wynnum, I will get better at making radio.
Yeah, fair enough.
And so now we've actually talked about those things, and now I'm addressing the other blurb, which is
let's cover them all in.
The other one was my other activity on social media today was about the 4ZZ's Hot 100 Hangout.
Tomorrow.
And so
from 1 or midday?
Well, actually, no, they're all related to Julius Caesar. That ancient Roman breakdown in 20 minutes had a profound impact on me today.
Yeah.
Just because it presided.
Well, it had a profound impact on the world.
Well,
that's
ching,
it.
ching.
And that's why obviously
Ching.
YouTube is sharing it. Is that like we get fucking everything from it.
On the brink of the collapse of the American Empire, let's show you what happened to the last great empire. Here on 2017, because in 2018 apparently there's going to be an alien false flag.
Okay.
Yeah, so YouTube's also been showing me conspiracy theory videos about all the latest alien hype means they're gearing us towards an alien false flag.
Interesting.
Which I don't want to be a false flag though. I want real aliens.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it depends on the type of aliens, I guess. That's the thing. Cause
any and all, man. If it's apocalypse via aliens, right on. If it's benevolent aliens, right on. You know, I don't care which way they come at us.
True.
If I get to see end times, brilliant. If I get to see the extension, of humanity into outer space, brilliant.
Look,
you know?
I think I'm on that same page with you. I feel like I've been gearing up for the post-apocalypse for a couple years. Like, it just in subtle ways. Like, just the way I dress. Even I'm like, sometimes I'll wear something, or even like Liam posted on my thing when I cut my hair. He's like, post-apocalyptic Australian fast bowler. Because I got a mustache. So I don't know, like, you know, I don't know. It's just
people are hungry for the apocalypse.
Mad Max and
let me see that stuff.
Wastelander Panda, which was a little series that ran on ABC iView for way too little. They haven't done anything in a couple years. Whoever did that, just side note, Wastelander Panda, keep doing that. That was cool. I liked it. This is giant panda walking around the wasteland. It's self-explanatory. It was dope. But I don't know. Personally, I think because like I feel like when I think about, there's a part of me that almost wants to be in savage times, right? Or whether that's ancient or post-apocalyptic. But these rules of society being gone, there's an appeal to it, right? Where your one and only priority is survival. So all the questions of what you're doing with your life, whether you've got a good job, whether you're achieving all the goals for 2017 or 2018 or New Year's resolutions, they literally mean nothing because all you need to do is focus on finding food and shelter each night.
Yeah.
You know, like living like an animal.
Yeah.
Essentially. There's an appeal to that because it's all this existential anxiety that comes with fucking first world living.
What am I meant to do with myself?
Yeah, and all the technological anxiety and stuff that comes with social media and everything. It could all, like, if it all just fucked off, like, I'm not willing to let go of it myself or push it away, but if it just happened, if an alien invaded or if nuclear bombs went off, like, whatever, it'd just switch and go boom, full survivor mode.
What, you really think? I don't think my instincts are that great. I got kind of pulled out of it abruptly in Cambodia.
True.
Where I was just like, oh wow, I'm actually a really vulnerable, naive, incapable human being. Like, if the aliens were to come with massive lasers and an aggressive attitude, then I'd be dead.
True.
I'd be dead.
Well, I totally think that I would realize how naive I'd been and how sheltered I'd been, but I just don't think I'd die, at least not quickly. Like, I wouldn't be one of the first wave. That's
Right.
not my story. I'd at least fucking lead some sort of resistance, if not just help some survivors.
Yeah,
You know, like slap some people and be like, this is real, move
We're gonna-
now
we're
or you're
gonna
gonna
do it.
die right
We're gonna
here.
do it.
Because you know when you're watching a movie, right? And you're just like, this person has no survival instinct. Like, how are they the protagonists of
yeah.
this fucking movie?
Yeah.
Like,
He's a photographer
yeah, it's
with an
just,
analog DSLR. What, like, how does he know what to do in end times? He doesn't.
yeah,
Bumbling
exactly.
around trying to replace film.
And there's people who like stop for some weird reason, and it's like,
To take
dude,
a
there's a
photo.
monster behind you. Like,
Yeah.
like it's about to kill you.
Do not take a photo of the alien. Run from the alien.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Did you watch Stranger Things?
What, the second one?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well.
Well, no. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
We can't. And like maybe let's just start off something else here. We won't even play K the Truth and Whole. Let's just let's do something like this. Oh no. You know what?
Oh yeah. Take it there.
Well, you know it's
Turn up.
It's New Year's Eve.
Yeah. Fuck it.
Odd Mob, Super Silly. I think Jordan Burns is a local DJ, so this is his extended remix. Let me just find a cool loop though, and then we can. Oh, that's kind of vibey.
I reckon that the weather's getting a little bit more vibey. There's blue in the sky. Oh, the sun just went behind a cloud. I like that. The humidity's dropped a bit. It let a little bit of rain.
Yeah, this has been quite a visually pleasing Brownsnake today.
Sure, I forget.
We've caught
that
some
people
rain.
are
We've
looking
caught
at
some.
it.
Yeah, well, if you're live streaming on Sunday afternoon,
Yeah.
you can watch it. If you're doing the stream, then this means nothing to you. And I say that every week. And I love you for embracing the meaninglessness of all my visual cues. Right? Yeah, definitely. You know, there's been some sun glimmering upon the river, some rain.
Multiple
It's
seasons.
all very dappled and damp here on the Brownsnake.
It's global warming in effect, climate change in effect.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
multiple weather.
Everything at once. It's just totally unusual for a subtropical place. Totally unusual.
I've never seen it go from a sun shower to sunny in Brisbane.
Never.
Never.
Alright, let me just, we've got like 7 minutes or so
Left.
left in this hour of the Browns.
Is that right? Oh,
yeah, I know.
fucking hell.
Water flows when you're having fun, right? Anyway, let's bring it back to us so people can, 'cause people love us.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open.
Well, people love me. I don't know about you. Like, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
me either.
ask
I
people,
don't.
so
I
people
don't like
interview
me sometimes.
very often.
Yeah.
But
Anyway,
I know a
let's-
few people love me, which is a nice feeling. Something new
Oh.
as well. Like, I mean, not that I've never been loved in my life. Like, I'm not that much of a prima donna, but like,
You
Yeah.
are actually. You're very
wow, a
much.
little bit. But you know, now I have like fans. Like, that's a weird thing. Like, there's actually, and it's only a few people. I'm not like trying to get ahead of myself, but the fact that there's some people who just come to like every one of my shows and know my lyrics and like they'll mosh, that's crazy. That's what I'm most thankful for this year. 13, 30, 32. That's what I'm most thankful for. It's cool. It's been good fun this year. Every show that I've played, it's gotten better and better. Made heaps of cool art, met different people. I didn't think had we met before this year? If we had, it only would have been very brief passing at Z, I think. And it wasn't like, I didn't know that you produced before this year. Actually, no, I did, because I played your tiny tape when we were filming the Ridiculous Cypher video. I remember that. So,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, at least in like August, September, I'd known.
You knew that I was doing things. Yeah,
That was all
right.
bullshit. Let's just forget everything.
Cool.
I said.
Scrub the tape.
Yeah.
Scrub the tape.
Just re-record the whole thing.
Yep. Which you can totally do here on the Brownsnake. If you have the necessary water filters, then you can drink the water out of the Brownsnake. You can claim something back. That we reverse the process a little bit. Maybe.
Do you have a favorite beer, Nick?
Do I have a favorite beer? Oh, tasty ones? Actually, no, I can't even say that. Like, I would drink cold beer.
Yeah. No, okay, cool. I'm in the same boat. I always end up getting Hollandia because it's cheap and somewhat potent for how dear it is.
Bang for your buck.
Exactly. So the deal is four for $15, I think it was.
Right.
And Foley's this is 2.4 drinks in each one.
How many of those bad boys you got?
Four. Well, two left.
Okay.
This one's finished. But, you know, when you look at a six-pack, you're like $20 for a six-pack of 4 Tollys, which is more than a six-pack, 15. It's not a hard decision.
This guy math.
Yeah.
This guy math. Yeah.
I've pulled out my calculator a few times. Oh yeah, I just burped into the mic. What of it? Oh yeah, this is your
That's
nice
the good
suit.
one, man. What'd I tell you? I said, you harm that good mic.
It's not harm. It's not harm. It's just the listeners'
You're compromising
ears are
it.
harmed.
You're compromising it. That's what you're doing.
It's just a filter.
My next guest is going to be
It's just
inhibited because they can smell your guts on the pop filter.
That's gonna liberate them, not inhibit them. They're gonna feel like their primal urges come to the forefront and they're gonna get in touch with themselves.
Just flatter your guts a little more. Just flatter your guts a little more. My guts, my shit don't stink. It's a Brownsnake
Oh, my
Babblin.
shit stinks. Burps just smell like delicious beer. You know? Hollandia. From the land of Poland.
So we've got maybe like 3 minutes, I think. I'm gonna play out the rest of this Jordan Burns extended remix. This has been the Brownsnake. Yeah. If you drink, don't drive, and if you drive, don't drink. If you whatever.
If you're doing drugs, just be aware that you're on drugs. Don't trip out too much. Stay hydrated. Most important thing.
Just be responsible.
Regardless of what you're doing, whether you're just drinking or doing drugs, stay hydrated. It's important.
It's important.
And make sure you eat something. Eat some bread.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah.
Be responsible, alright? This is the Brownsnake. Dan, thanks for joining me here today. Thank you. Thank you.
Baby, there's no passion to what we do now.